Okay, so if you have chosen this particular video, you're wanting to know a little bit more about how to actually use the equipment. So our two types of block, a cork one and a foam one. I'm going to show you how to use both and how I think they might be beneficial to you. So with that being said, let's come onto the mat and we're going to start off with our cork block first. So one of the first ways people would use a cork block is popping it in front of them, almost about 2 inches away from your feet if you're coming into a forward fold. So standing tall, keep the knees soft, hinge forward, so a nice flat back. And you want to be able to get your hands almost to the floor. And the reason that we use a block is to help us gain a little bit of height when it comes to our forward folds and other postures like a forward fold. So obviously there's different heights that you can have it at, and as you progress you can tilt the block. So this would be your first height if you're particularly struggling to get the hands to the floor. You can tilt it on its side, so I guess that's level 2, coming down slightly lower when you feel like you've gained a little bit of flexibility in your hamstrings, or coming down to level 3, which is having the block completely flat. And it's just a really simple, helpful tool to use when you can't quite touch the floor and you don't want to damage your limbs. So that's why we use tools like a block to help us. The other block, our foam block, for more of a, I'm going to say more of an intermediate advanced yogi, might be something for example, could be a half moon pose. So coming into a half moon pose, you just pop the block almost to the outside corner of the mat, depending what level you want it. I'm going to keep it on the high level. You want the foot on the diagonal to the little pinky toe. Lovely. And then you would just lift the foot in the air. But I'm having to use my core strength here, so I'm really not relying on the block. It's just giving me that little bit of height and alignment. And maybe if I feel comfortable in this pose, I would then tilt it down. Level 2, nice and open. And then level 3, nice and flat. So I'm having to use all my core strength here, and I'm only using the block as a guide and an aid really. And then once you feel like you don't need the block anymore, moving it out of the way. Ta-da! So it's really an amazing tool, and I think that we shouldn't be put off by using yoga blocks if you need them, because in the long run you'll notice that your posture and your form is better. So that's my little tutorial on yoga blocks. And throughout the videos, if you're finding, oh, I'm finding this forward fold or any other pose where you think a block might be appropriate, I might even cue you and say, you might want to use a block here. Use a block. It's so helpful. So I hope this video was just a little bit of an insider and gave you a little bit more understanding on what is helpful and what tools are helpful to use in yoga. So that was our yoga block.